Households that include people with disabilities can struggle to obtain suitable housing. This story tells of the determination of one East Lothian family to find a home that met their needs, a property of the right size, which offered as well the best possible care for their disabled daughter.
I live in this house with my partner Derek, my daughter Katie, she's 8, and my other little one lying behind me here, Faith, she's 2. We live in a semi-detached bungalow in Elphinstone, a quite small 2-bedroom property. The property doesn't meet our family's needs because of the general size of it, and it obviously only having 2 bedrooms. Me and my partner actually have to sleep on this sofa bed that we're sitting on just now. The bathroom, being a family bathroom itself, is very small, never mind adding in Katie's equipment. Katie obviously needs to be showered in that bathroom, and it's far too small. She can't have the equipment she needs in that bathroom because of the size of it.
Space is obviously the biggest issue surrounding the whole move. Storage is another issue. As Katie gets bigger, the equipment and stuff gets bigger along with Katie. There's just no room to move in this house, and it's a beautiful house and it's a lovely area, but it just doesn't fit with Katie any longer, and it's all about Katie at the end of the day. It's mostly about Katie and making her life as comfortable as we can possibly make it, and for the rest of the family as well.
East Lothian Council can assist families like the Hoggs who need housing help because someone in their household has a disability. There are many types of support. For instance, the Council's occupational therapists may recommend a range of adaptations. First, the needs of the household will be assessed, and sometimes they can be complex, as they were for the Hoggs.
We moved into this property 5 years ago, and then around 4 years ago Katie was diagnosed with Batten's disease, and at that point we were struggling already with equipment and how big it was, and then obviously we knew from Katie's diagnosis that things weren't going to get better, they were only really going to get worse. So we knew then that obviously the equipment was going to get bigger, so that we had a major issue. We looked at exchanging, not only being on the exchange list but with our neighbours. We looked at adapting the property, which just wasn't suitable. We went through years of fighting to adapt this property, and it came back as a no every time because it just wasn't appropriate.
In circumstances like those of the Hogg family, it may not be practical to adapt their home to meet the household's requirements. Where adaptation is problematic, a new house may offer the solution. For the Hogg family, the best option was to move rather than improve.
Whether it's best to move or improve depends on individual circumstances. First and foremost, it's about the person themselves, and then about the person in the context of their own property. Then we need to consider the options available to bridge the gap between the two, which includes the person's individual home circumstances, such as their house type, the location, the size, the suitability, the extent of the adaptations that are required, the feasibility for the adaptations, and the availability of alternative housing. There are no hard and fast rules as to when adaptations or improvements are the best solution, but obviously the adaptation is only appropriate where it will meet the person's needs both now and in the foreseeable future, that it's technically feasible to do it, and the property is suitable to be adapted. But it also depends on the extent of the adaptation. Sometimes a fairly simple and straightforward adaptation can be enough to maintain somebody in their own home and ensure that they're safe and independent.
Charlene Hogg is proud of her new house. The interior is much better suited to both Katie's needs and those of the Hogg family as a whole. For example, take a look at the hallway. Unlike the cramped and awkward hall in the old house, here it is wide enough to allow a wheelchair to turn.
Look, you can move all the way around, can't you?
In Katie's bedroom, the equipment is no longer difficult to operate because of lack of space. And the bathroom is big enough for Mrs. Hogg to help Katie with her bathing.
all over the house is bigger. Kitchen, living room, everywhere. She can get in and out anywhere without any hassle. Our bedroom as well, and our bathroom. Yeah, they're yours, aren't they? They're much bigger as well. The storage space, you can store our wheelchairs and stuff in the hall. All our feeding equipment and pads and stuff that all need stored. They've got a cupboard that you can put the stuff in, which nobody realises, I don't think, how important that is. Equipment wise, we can now start looking at bigger equipment, the equipment she really needs, because we've now got the space. Family wise, Katie's much more involved now. Even dinner time and stuff, we've got a kitchen table, so we can all sit round at dinner time, and yeah, all normal family stuff that other people take for granted, because it's not easy to get, Katie in her chair to be involved in everything we're doing, and we can get her involved in everything now.
The starting point for anybody who has a disability and feels that their home is not suitable to meet their needs to the extent that they feel they need an adaptation or need to be rehoused is really to request a community care assessment. This will give a clear assessment of what their needs are, and the occupational therapist might be able to provide some advice or information or equipment to resolve the difficulty they're having. If the occupational therapist recommend an adaptation or rehousing is required, then they can work with the service user and the community housing officer to consider all the options and work out what's the best solution.
Of course, it isn't only newly built properties that offer the key to an improved quality of life. Sometimes the solution is either a larger house or one which is simply better matched to the household's requirements. Council tenants can apply for a transfer to meet their needs, and private tenants and owners can put their names on the Council's housing list. Both transfer and new applicants may seek extra housing need points if their current housing circumstances can be shown to worsen their medical condition.
First protocol would usually be to offer an applicant a housing options interview, and that's to identify what the best route of accessing social housing would be for that individual or family. In some instances, it's clear that the council is not the best option for an applicant in terms of seeking to be rehoused, and therefore we work closely with other partner agencies such as East Lothian Housing Association. There are other options as well, such as the private rented sector, and in some instances for owner-occupiers the best option for them is to sell the asset they have and purchase something that's more suitable for their needs. The key thing is happy customers. The best thing about being in this job in terms of housing management is providing a set of keys to a family, to start for many a new life. And a great example of that is Charlene and her family. We worked closely with Charlene to achieve the desired outcome, which was a larger property suitable to their needs, and one which provides the family with a better standard of living, a better quality of life, and in particular that was suitable to the needs of their daughter Katie. So although it was a long journey and we investigated a whole range of different routes and options for that family, we believe that we have a fantastic outcome for Charlene and her family in this beautiful new council home.
I couldn't be any more happy with the house. It's amazing. We love it, don't we, Katie? We love your new house, don't we? We call it Katie's Palace. It's our new palace and we love it.
If you would like to know more about East Lothian Council's disability adaptation services, you should get in touch with our occupational therapists or pick up an information leaflet from your local area housing office. Also, if you're considering a transfer to a more suitable property, your local housing office can help with that too.